who slaps the shot away and cleared Antonio Carlos back to midfield. Good buildup from Inter Miami.
Yeah, starting with Bussi and then Leo, but then also Kramansky getting involved, finding Messi. Eventually it falls for Martinez. And by the way, sooner or later, Joseph Martinez will start scoring goals. Good shot for distance.
Blocked away by Kipsov. Off to Taylor, who has been the big benefactor.
Yep.
He's played in the midfield, he's played on the wing, and he's been scoring crackers. Through for Martinez, trying to get there before Galese. The flag stays down. That was close. Now it comes up as play comes to a stop. Just a little over-eager.
Yeah. Robert Taylor has a very keen understanding of space and time when he doesn't have the ball, and Messi has the ball. His running off the ball has been absolutely stunning, similar to Steve Ralston in my first year with the Tampa Bay Mutiny, getting a real good chemistry with El Pibe Valderrama.
Ball back for Robin Janssen, the 31-year-old Swede. Tries to split Messi, poked away Kramansky, giving chase Martinez, and he'll get there. Allen through. Oh, he needed a bit more to get to the 18-year-old Kramansky, but it's cleared away. Into the midfield comes Orlando. Kyle Smith pushing it forward. Busquets intercepts and back to Kipsov. Now it's Inter Miami on the front foot.
Yeah, you just talked about Benjamin Kramansky out of the midfield. Since Messi comes into the ball, you need to provide some depth from deep. And Kramansky's running, Phil, without the ball can create some problems for the back four of Orlando City.
In for Busquets. Not the fastest, but his brain is sharper than most. Holds off the midfielder, dishes it off, back to Arroyo, now to Messi, slices for Busquets, threads it for Kramansky, out wide now for Taylor. Taylor drives on his right foot, cuts across the 18, a chip for Messi, Sanos, shoots, scores! Oh my goodness! An absolute gem! Inter Miami strikes first on a masterpiece by Messi.
Diego Lasso. We just talked about Robert Taylor being the beneficiary of Messi. This is a Taylor ball cutting inside, finding the run of Messi, the scoop over the back four, the brilliant chest strap, and then the finish. Robert Taylor now providing Messi with the assist.
Messi involved Taylor with a brilliant play, and they forgot to mark Messi.
Absolutely brilliant. You can see Yetland running over his right shoulder, Phil. You can see also Martinez occupying Janssen, and Messi in zone 14. Jogging. Boom. And then that little acceleration and the ability for Robert Taylor to dribble with the ball and still have his head up and find that run from Messi. That's a combo right now. That's been in fuego.
Fourth goal of this League's Cup for Messi. And an absolutely brilliant goal for Inter Miami. Down to the sidelines, Fernando Fiori. What a cracker.
How come you forget to mark Messi, man? He was coming in right like Pancho por su casa, right in the middle. Chest, boom, goal de Inter Miami. Absolutely wonderful. Only less than 8 minutes, and we are 1-0.
One again by Busquets. Quickly to Messi. Drives to the 18. Dishes wide. Martinez tracks it down. Just outside the box, and he'll drop it back for Messi. The haze from the flares and the fireworks settling in over Drive Pink. They had to wait 90 minutes plus. They're enjoying it now. Long cross-field ball through the 18. Taylor on the far side. Back to the youngster Noah Allen. Finds Messi. Again, starting to think about those Messi-Alba passes, and who knows, maybe Noah Allen might be able to find a decade's worth of runs after he watches for a while. Kramansky tries to dribble through a double team. Knocked down, no whistle from Cisneros. Here comes Orlando. Through the middle and tucked wide. Two men pushing forward. Angulo, the Colombian, driving on Yedlin. Outside the 18, cuts to the middle. Pass off for Pereira, looking wide far side. Trying to find a shot, now tucked and trying to blast it inside past Miller. Deflected away as Cartagena denied. Throw in for Orlando deep in the Miami end. As huge as that goal was, Inter Miami does not want to let down. and allow an equalizer early. First goals, at least at the start of the season. What would we call that? Before Messi? First goals were decisive.
Yeah, fourth goal in the League's Cup as well in 2.5 games.
Second assist for Taylor. Both to Messi. Headed
Taylor
away
looks
by
like
Yedlin.
Angel Di Maria.
Driving it in. Santos and poked away by Krivtsov before it could find Calendar. Orlando will track it down. That was dangerous. The big Ukrainian, very important. 3 new faces will also be coming in to join the Barca bunch. 3 South American youngsters and very promising. We'll talk about them as this match progresses. One of them already on the bench, as we could see the debut not just of Jordi Alba, but of Diego Gomez, the young Paraguayan, as well. High in the air from Kamal Miller, but it crosses the goal line. The Lions head back to the near side flag. They'll try it again, 10.5 minutes in.
There is no ball. What is the ball? Ah, there it comes.
Fernando, that's not the sushi.
No, and I'm right here watching it, but it was no ball for Pereira.
Approaching the 11th minute completed as Pereira ready to launch this one in towards Calendar. Headed away by Miller at the top of the 6th. Settled by Kyle Smith.
After the defeat against St. Louis in MLS, where they gave up 3 set-piece goals. So much better on set pieces now. Winning first and second balls, Phil. Interior defense has been good, sniffing out most crosses so far.
Allen up the line. Taylor in for Kremaski. Instead, decoys it. Finds Martinez instead. Kremaski smartly pulls it back to Miller, who has plenty of time and space. Off to the near side, Arroyo, whose role has changed since the arrival of Busquets, and he's handling it quite well.
Yeah, he can roam a little bit right now because Busquets really plays in that central position. So sometimes he pops up left and right, and defensively, he's got to look, who's got Busquets? Who do I need to find? Most of the times, it's Pereira, the number 10, or Torres that comes and floats inside. So important for Arroyo to always look over his shoulder with and without the ball in reference to where Sergio Busquets is.
And atop the Martino wrinkle as well. Ball touched in for Krivtsov to Perry. Arroyo covering for Yedlin on this right side, allowing the right back to push forward.
Good point.
Mishandled by Torres and taken right back by Noah Allen. Talked about how the youngsters might have to bide their time with all of these new faces. It makes Inter Miami much deeper, much better. But some of the youngsters who have seen significant minutes might have to fight a little harder. However, as the ball cleared by Calendar to midfield, Tata Martino had a lot of good things to say about how they're responding.
And they've responded well, Phil. Yes, we had 6 academy players.
Messi battling Cartagena, draws the foul right on the midfield stripe.
At the end of the Philadelphia game in MLS, it's 2 now. Noah Allen and Benjan. At the end of the day, Phil, one might survive, but with Alba, you can't get a better mentor than Jordi Alba to become a better player. And I feel that one of the mottos of Inter Miami is respect good people, which they are, young but good and brave.
Nice tuck by Kremaski out wide for Yedlin. Driving inside on Carlos. Leaves it for Martinez. Left foot, but he just got under it. Sails over the far crossbar, no problem for Gallese.
And again, we all get drawn towards Leo Messi. But instead of going, what? He actually applauds Martinez. Such a difference, in all due respect, towards Higuain or Matuidi or guys that weren't always great in their body language towards their teammates. Huge difference as well. The big boys are encouraging their teammates to excel. And even if you make mistakes, it's okay.
Pressure in the back on Cartagena almost goes awry. Pareja pacing his coaching area on the near side as Orlando swings it to the far. 14 minutes played, 1-0 on a beautiful team effort finished by Lionel Messi. And as you pointed out, even with a 90-minute delay, the stands are packed to drive pink. Ball forward, giving chase is McGuire, trying to tuck it around Calendar, who made himself big, and the shot goes wide, goal kick.
And that's still one of the unique qualities of this young center forward. What a great run but you can also see he's not polished yet. Yes, he scored 8 in MLS, 2 in his last 2 games, but there you got to go hard far post, tries to go near post, covered by Calendar, and it goes wide. Put a warning sign for Sergi and Kamal Miller.
McGuire has been a revelation, the 22-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, ex-Creighton Blue Jay. And a few good Americans who have come through Creighton. Tackled away, but a foul further upfield. Kramaski whistled, and it will be a free kick about 25 yards out for Orlando, far side. Araujo getting up slowly.
And that's important for Benja to understand, which it seems like he has not. Unnecessary loss of possession. Now he's going to chase Phil, and he wants to be overly aggressive to make up for his mistake. And unfortunately, he fouls, giving Orlando, again, another opportunity to send Carlos Johnson. And with McGuire, they got some height in this team. But as I said again, Inter Miami so much better on set pieces in the last 2 games.
Line just inside the 18. Lifted towards the 6. Touched away by Busquets as he caresses it towards safety. Orlando will get it back, but nothing to worry about for Calendar.
Yeah, everybody back. So there's nobody high for the counter. Messi coming close to this corner kick when Orlando's bringing 2 players out. All the other ones inside the 18-yard box.
Mauricio Pereira, again, with a in-swinger threatened. Inter Miami, 5 players inside their 6. They'll play it back inside the 18. Pushing forward, Angulo sweeps it across. Slapped away by Calendar. The rebound to the back post, and it's buried by Orlando. The goal for Cesar Araujo, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, I just talked about how good we've defended on crosses, on set pieces. I haven't seen a corner yet where it's taken short. This time they bring somebody over. Messi is there, but Angulo finds a pocket inside the 18-yard box. Nobody is responding from Inter Miami. You come too late, gets too easily by Kramansky. And Calendar makes an initial great save, but as you said, Araujo eventually with the rebound and says, thanks for coming, 1-1.
They took advantage. The pressure
Just a poor
continuous.
Response, Phil. Again, you got enough veterans right there in the 80-yard box that need to say, hey, listen, we got 2 men extra here. We'll never go short. We got to go tight.
17 minutes in, 1-1 the score. But, Coach, isn't that one of the dangers when you make a lot of switches to a starting lineup?
No, it's the same lineup as the last game, so no.
But I mean in the fact that new faces from the season.
No, not really. The guys have been around. They know what set pieces are all about and what the responsibilities are.
Ball won back by Orlando.
Didn't see what was unfolding in front of us. I did from this height here. I'm going, oh no, go with Angulo. Did not happen.
And then leaving Araujo open for the rebound,
Yep.
Paying the price. Long ball forward by Santos, the 25-year-old Brazilian, intercepted by Kamal Miller. Snapped away by Martinez. Busquets leaves it high. Messi with a header to keep possession for Inter Miami. Here's Arroyo. Closed down quickly. Second effort down the line. And you'll get a second chance on the sloppy pass from Santos.
Got new territory as well, Phil. You score, you give up a goal fairly quickly thereafter. That's a real test as well of their mentality. And can they play through this and how do they respond?
Well, just the second goal they've allowed in this League's Cup. Great Calendar, 2-0, goals against 0.5, and a clean sheet, something that has been uncommon through the regular season, but might be more of a regular occurrence. Here's Kramaski back into the center circle, near side for Messi. Messi has to drive inside and into the challenge by Cartagena. The ball pops up, the Peruvian whistled for a handball, then trying to delay the free kick, and Messi's not happy. The referee over to calm things down.
And the little mind games, the little push, not allowing the free kick to be taken quickly, standing in front of it. Messi obviously wanted to restart that very quick. Little push there and here and there. We'll see this throughout. Who can keep their composure better and their discipline and still be aggressive in your approach?
Arroyo swinging it far side for Allen. Back
True
to Miller.
test.
No score yet in the other games as they approach the half. Mazatlan, Dallas, Pachuca, Houston. All four could be future opponents in this tournament for Miami if they can get the lead back here. There will be a winner. There won't be extra time. It will go straight to penalties if this match remains scoreless. By the way, through the group stage, it is a Major League Soccer Liga MX duel. By percentage points, the Norteños doing better. 19 of the 29 advancing, 11 of the 18 Mexican sides advancing, and the two defending champions also advance. A hard challenge by Messi, too hard, says the referee, and the fans showing their whistles as the card comes out. Messi not liking some of the actions of Cartagena and deciding to take care of business himself. He knew what he was doing.
Absolutely.
And the fans chanting Messi. Just beyond the reach of Pereira, drifts off back to Calendar. Always important after giving up a goal to get an early touch. Calendar deftly to Yedlin. Arroyo and Yedlin playing a two-man game, now in for Messi. Martinez tries to sweep it away. Good work by Santos to bring it back. 21 minutes played. Slapping it through the lines, Araujo. And through Maguire, here they come again. Facundo Torres, far side. Dropped for Maguire, quick shot, but Calendar down even quicker.
We said in the intro in our pregame, Phil, that this would be the biggest test for Inter Miami, and it's proven that way through almost 22 seconds. They're not sitting back, Phil. They're aggressive in their approach in general, but also like to go forward. And with Angulo, Torres, Pereira, and Maguire, they got a pretty darn good front four and two holding midfielders in Araujo and Cartagena that are tough customers.
Orlando came in here back in May and walked away with a 3-1 win. Nice touch by Busquets. Kramaski with a full head of steam. Wide for Taylor. Out on the left flank. Back for Kramaski. Orlando winning 5, Miami 3 with 3 draws in their earlier meetings. The two teams trading home victories in MLS last year, while Orlando needed penalties to advance in the Open Cup. So maybe some revenge here tonight for Inter Miami. Yedlin back to Arroyo. Midway through the opening half. Martinez for Messi. Dribbles into a double team. Does not come away with it. Good work by Araujo again. Busquets steps up, and they'll split the lines for Pereira. Blocked away by Arroyo, but Inter Miami can't hold on. Trying to put some pressure in the Orlando end, and they do force the turnover. Good work by the 18-year-old from Key Biscayne. Now Taylor to the 18. Overlap for Allen. Martinez, the only pink jersey in the Orlando box. They'll retreat all the way back. And now Arroyo on the left side.
Yeah, Arroyo's picking his spots based on where Busquets ends up.
Nice ball, Yedlin. Busquets for Messi. Peels away. Tries to thread it through. But dropping back in time, the Uruguayan youngster Torres. But he dribbles into a triple team and forced to retreat. All the way back to Galese, and the Peruvian international launching it long. Miller with a snap header. Finds Messi outside the 18. Dishes for Taylor. Back to Messi. Driving on a triple. Martinez, one touch wide for Kramaski. Keeps it in play on a slide in the 18, and that draws some applause from the crowd. Back for Arroyo, and they'll maintain possession. Approaching 24 minutes played. Orlando trying to draw a line at the top of the 18. Miami forced to retreat. Across for the former Shakhtar man. Lifts off to Miller.
Huge difference, too, from prior years, Phil. The understanding.
Long into the area, and an easy grab for Galese.
When to go quick, use risk, if not recycle again, start again. So much more patience and comfort and confidence on the ball of Inter Miami right now.
Earlier this year, we did see stretches with significant possession, but nothing like we've seen in the last 3 games. Almost hate to say it, but almost Barca-like with 20, 30 touches in a row. Ball forward for Martinez. The offside flag comes up as a little lazy getting back on the right side of Janssen.
Yeah, and Orlando will absorb that possession, which has become, as you said, Phil, so much sharper and better in chance creation and goals eventually. But the former Inter Miami never was able to carve out against their opponents, regardless of more possession, yes or no. What do you do with the possession? And right now, Inter Miami with 7 goals in 3 games, pretty darn good.
Smith under pressure. Errant pass forced by Kramaski. They'll sweep through Busquets off to Arroyo near side. Yedlin again quickly sprinting to the front line. Busquets like he's pulling a rabbit out of the hat, just toying with Maguire. Near side Krivtsov, and the Ukrainian veteran lifting it around Pereira to the far flank for Miller. 1-1 the score. Beautiful goal for Miller. Opportunistic for Orlando. For Messi make that. Opportunistic for Orlando to equalize. Miller. Allen, one touch. Backheel try from Taylor, just a little too much. Kramaski closing in. They'll slot it over to the near side for the Colombian Angulo. The ex-Palmeiras product. Finding Santos, back for Angulo. Drifts off over to try and shut him down, but a nice little shake and bake down the line. Cuts to the 18, deflected away. Trying it on the volley, but unsuccessful. Loose ball back for Angulo, and he has a go. That's deflected up and over the crossbar. Almost a golazo by Pereira, but he couldn't find the handle. Let's take a brief pause for station identification. You're listening to Inter Miami Soccer.
Sports lives here. WQAM Miami, WPOW HD2 Miami, WKIS HD2 Boca Raton, the home of the Heat, Hurricanes, Panthers, and Inter Miami.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
And Odyssey Station.
Corner kick cleared away. Taylor on the far flank giving chase along with Messi. Down the line comes Orlando. Heading to the corner, it's Angulo. Pressured there by Kramaski, and he'll deflect it away for the Lions' throw.
Angulo is a real handful. He's the architect on that first goal. When he released the ball, it gets around Benja Kramaski. Callender with a great save. But in 1v1 situations, the Colombian is pretty darn good, Phil.
Ball across for Araujo, the former Wanderers man, staying pretty set. Launched inside just over Maguire. Out comes Callender to get it off of the Noah Allen header and quickly flips it out far side for Taylor. Miami wants to keep this ball in play. Allen looking long. And credit to Orlando, blocking a lot of the lanes. Good step in by Kramaski. Busquets helps to steal it away. Off to Messi, curling it through the gap. Running through is Taylor. The Finn couldn't quite get there as Kyle Smith had a shoulder in front. Taylor pins him into the corner, though. Trying to force a long ball out. Tangle in midfield, and Busquets couldn't get out of the way. The foul won by Pereira, and it might come with a trophy.
And Messi again coming over to the referee right now. Clearly an agitation of both Busquets and Messi. But maybe for the first time, Phil, are encountering what a derby in MLS is all about, which is quite physical.
Cisneros, the Salvadoran, as I mentioned, one of the best referees in CONCACAF. Yep. 3 matches in the past World Cup. He was the ref in the Champions League final last year, and even the ref in that Nations League final earlier this summer where the U.S. pounded Mexico. So he's seen big games before. Miami has to focus on the ball, not the ref. Here's Yedlin. Across midfield as we approach the half-hour mark. Miami got off to a good home start this year, but now only 2 teams with a worse home record in MLS. Orlando, you've alluded to it earlier, Thomas, as a long ball goes awry for a throw-in for the Lions. Only Real Salt Lake with a better road record than Orlando City.
And that speaks volumes again, because going on the roads, there's a certain mindset that you need to have outside of your technical, tactical, and physical. And Orlando, due to their coach, Oscar Pareja, as I said again, that I know well, They have this mindset. We don't care if we're on the road. We're not intimidated. We're going to play our style. I talk about coaches. They're right now screaming at the fourth official, Martino, and Parea.
Throw-ins.
And actually, he's going after Parea a little bit as well with some gestures.
The referee coming over to try and calm Martino. And I think this is, if anything, Martino trying to show this team to have a little bit more energy, a little bit more passion. They're fighting over throw-ins now. And Yedlin might have had an argument, but the near side assistant, Navid Moran, calling it the other way.
Calma, Martino, calma.
Ball headed away. Flag stays down. Yedlin will knock it back to Calendar. We heard from El Presidente, Fernando Fiori. It seems like things are heating up down there.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Martino is really he's really possessed right now. But knowing the bad blood between these two teams, I will say that the game is very, very nice play right now. Only one yellow card, not many tackles, not many fouls. So I think it's a clean match so far.
Well, we've still got an hour to go.
Well, first 30 minutes. Not okay.
Kamal Miller, far flank, as Miami gets it back underway. Tie score here. Again, mentioned the other two matches. No score at the half. Mazatlan Dallas will face the winner of this tie. Messi, double team, drags it down the near side line. Yedlin stays on side, cuts back to his left. Touch in the 18, off to Martinez, off to Messi, into the 18, and it kisses off the post. Just past the penalty spot, a left-footed laser that scrapes off iron and wide to safety.
Now, the improvement on both sides, clearly, with Robert Taylor on the left side, we've been very dominant. That's where goals have come from. But DeAndre Yedlin cutting inside of a pass of Messi. Messi continues his run. Yedlin finds Martinez. And then those two have a really keen understanding in tight spaces, finds Messi in a good situation. And Messi's going, oh, my God, I should have scored that one.
Martinez.
Brilliant reception. You can see the whole goal. Just misses.
Martinez gesturing to his teammates to pick up the pressure a little bit, give Orlando a taste of their own medicine. Elese with his left-footed clearance. Miller flies forward, heads it over Maguire, bounces away, and Yedlin will take it right in front of a pacing Tata Martino.
And Yedlin is the ideal player, in particular without the ball, because he always runs off Messi's shoulder, but eventually on that right side where he starts on paper, he comes inside a lot of space, and Yedlin can occupy Santos right then, and that might allow you to find Messi in pockets.
Drifts off to Yedlin, 30-year-old international right back, dropping it off to Arroyo, who again has to keep an eye on Messi and Yedlin to know when to cover.
Yep.
Sweeps it far side for Noah Allen. Now for Martinez, who's dropped back. There was a little conversation between Messi and Martinez, maybe to try and give Kramaski a gap pushing into the midfield. Touched inside, anticipated nicely by Pereira. The Uruguayan clattering into Messi, who goes down, and the whistle goes Miami's way.
By the way,
Uruguayans and Argentinians.
We need much more from Martinez. With all due respect to my fellow friends from Venezuela, but Joseph Martinez needs to step up.
Lifted for Kramaski inside the 18, flying in Antonio Carlos. Cleared only as far as Allen, shields well. Now Busquets and Taylor, and they'll drop back to midfield to build. 33 minutes played. Drifts off. Arroyo. Wide for Yedlin. Arroyo dropping back almost as though Miami playing in a back three as Busquets stays anchored in the middle. Now it's Miller on the left side. Kramaski cutting it back nicely. Arroyo looking long, but electing to play Busquets. And now wide for Krivtsov. Lots of rotation, lots of movement, Thomas.
And it's pretty amazing that this team has only played really almost 2.5 games together. Same lineup as the last one. And there's already chemistry that you can see within this team. And great players make teams better. And great players make some individuals better. And Taylor right now has benefited obviously of Messi's presence and vice versa. But so better. Organization, tactically sound on both sides of the ball.
As he's done since 2005 for Barcelona, Busquets pistoning back and starting this break. All the way wide for Yedlin. Messi about 30 yards out. Curling ball, back post, trying to find Allen. But staying with them the whole way was Kyle Smith.
Yeah, Nambusi and Arroyo staying home. Both Allen and Yedlin right now, almost like playing like wingers. Phil, out of a 3-2-5 almost.
Oh, from Arroyo, curls around Maguire. They might want to send him a snapshot of the ball. He hasn't seen it in a while. Cutting inside Kramaski, past Maguire, laid off by Martinez. Messi takes it. Messi drives to the spot, cleared away. Martinez on the bouncing ball, tried a magical touch, but the rabbit stayed in the hat. Out for the goal kick for Galese.
Yeah, nice sequence of 3-1 touch passes, finds Messi, again, in his sweet spot, being able to run at people, but give Orlando some credit. They didn't just dribble, they tripled. They brought a fourth player as well.
Messi continuing to bark at the referee, almost as though, hey, you're not going to call that? Then watch what I do. Now he's got to be careful. He's playing with a yellow. Up the line, a little slam by Yedlin into the back of Angulo, and that's going to lead to another free kick at the midfield stripe. We were talking about this earlier, Thomas. If Messi is not protected, it's up to Inter Miami to kind of take care of business themselves.
Yeah, there'd be niggling fouls. Nothing huge, but it will get under your skin, obviously. I'd rather have an engaged, a little bit of an angry Messi, done what people thought he would just come here for a retirement and hang out. No, he's engaged, no doubt.
Been smiling a lot, but he's frowning and groaning right now. Far side, Allen trying to keep it in play, but he slides across into touch. It'll be a throw-in as we've reached the 37th minute. Orlando about 10 yards deep in the Miami end. Almost Bielsa-like. Oscar Pareja taking a seat on the cooler at the edge of the technical area. Miami gets it back. Messi battling here, but the pass just goes awry. Orlando into the attacking half. Angulo. Cartagena. Back to the Colombian. Arroyo flashes in front. And now Orlando trying to move the chess pieces around. Pereira all the way back near midfield as they'll now probe the right side. Down the line, no one there. An easy grab for Miller.
And now, Phil, the whole bench of Inter Miami is warming up right here by the northwest corner. You can see Jordi Alba stretching, Campana, Ulloa, Robinson.
Thomas, this is normal. This is just the stretch before you go to halftime, correct?
Yeah, look at both teams. Yeah, you normally get up around the 30th minute just to get something in as well instead of sitting for 45 and then doing something at halftime. This is routine, nothing to do with the fact that both teams might make a change now.
Now, with no extra time, when would you imagine we might see a substitution? And specifically for Miami, would we see an Alba today?
I would think, as I said again, it doesn't matter what the scoreline is. Jordi Alba is one of the best in the world. I can provide, as we know in the past with Messi, some assists as well. So it stays 1-1. Yeah, Alba enters with 30 minutes left.
Busquets with a back heel. Messi drags it through a challenge, gets it back from Martinez, and a left-footed dish near side for Yedlin. Tees, lifts, launches, but acrobatically cleared by Antonio Carlos. Noah Allen trying to close down Torres on the far side, and Orlando pinned in their own half. Cutting back Smith, and a poor clearance with his left. Taken right back by Miami. Kramaski looking more and more comfortable, as is Allen with their new teammates in tow. 38 minutes played, 1-1 the score. Leagues Cup knockout stage. In for Arroyo. Lunges to keep it alive. Martinez back to Busquets, about 30 yards out. Busquets did not see Wilder Cartagena, who intercepts. And now Orlando trying to make something going. Angulo driving into a double team, and he gets past Yedlin and Kramaski. Dishes past Krivtsov. Maguire into the 18. Squares it across, and a recovery run by Krivtsov that was not necessary as the offside flag came up, but impressive nonetheless.
Yeah, impressive by Angulo right now. It's not just 1v1. He draws 2 or 3 people, and when he's able to get through there and nutmeg, he shifts his body real well, and then he's got an explosion after he changes direction as well and gets by Yetlin. Outfakes Benja Kamansky. Thank God that Maguire wasn't in offsides position, but right now the most lively guy, and the more Yetlin starts pressing, the more it becomes important for Sergio Grizzly to move over, and when Angulo receives the ball, you got to be there tight.
Out wide for Taylor. They're keeping a close eye on him. 3 huge goals in this tournament. Foul called against Orlando. 70% possession for Inter Miami. 330 passes to 130 for Orlando. But the only numbers that matter, 1-1 on the scoreboard. Messi driving against Angulo. Puts the brakes on and retreats to Yedlin. Yedlin keeps it going for Busquets. In for Arroyo. And now Orlando drops back to cover with 5 minutes left to go in the first half play.
The Lions don't care that Miami has a lot more possession. If they can limit their chances, and they know they got firepower up front, Phil, they're in their comfort zone right now. 1-1 on the road.
Cutting across Taylor, a go from distance. Claiming there was a deflection, but he didn't miss by much. And the way he's been scoring, why not?
What a change, and that was vintage Taylor, particular goal, Phil, against Cruz Azul, where he comes inside and hits that one inside of the post. Again, a good look for Robert Taylor. He's got options now. Do I find Messi? If not, I might go from distance.
Miami is pushing up. Token pressure at the moment against the Swede Janssen. Rolls it near side for Pereira, up to midfield. Torres cutting across. Krivtsov almost took his lunch.
Much better by Christoph. Not Angulo, but being tight and not allowing anybody to turn.
Walking
well done.
That line. Busquets across for Kramaski. Now for Taylor as Allen goes wide. They'll retreat to Kamal Miller. 5-3-14 in MLS play, but that a distant memory. 4-2-5 at home. And again, what had been a fortress at the start of the season started to collapse. But this is a different Inter Miami, and we don't even really know how much. Diego Gomez on the bench, still awaiting Farias and Avila's arrival.
In for young South Americans, Phil, but under 22 initiative.
And they get the extra 2 slots because Leo Campana is a young DP, and well played by Chris Henderson, full credit. Up steps Miller as he drives to the front line, out wide for Allen. Taylor on the inside, tries to go back. Allen curves almost Alba-like, and he drops it back towards the penalty spot. Messi wasn't there, but he applauds the youngster for his initiative. One back far side, Arroyo. I'm sure interesting to see what Jordi Alba's response was. Good play by the teenager.
Yeah, no doubt about it. While it developed, it almost looked like loss of possession. I think that Leo thought, you know what, let me be a little bit conservative here, because that was perfectly weighted pass. And if Messi makes a hard run, it's that one-touch finish that he normally gets from Alba.
And a bit of information here is a very nice conversation between Jordi Alba and Leo Campana. Do you already see Jordi Alba and his leadership in his new team?
Flying in Kramaski to try and get the loose ball. Nice touch forward for Pereira as Orlando trying to find a lead. Poked away. No foul, says the ref. Kramaski picking up the loose ball. Dishes wide for Taylor. Trying to cut to the inside. Well tackled by Kyle Smith. The kid from Transylvania. Well, stealing that one away. Messi quickly closed down. Martinez flies in to the double team and draws the foul against Antonio Carlos. Orlando not happy, and a lot of the Miami fans now showing what they think of some of the earlier calls.
All the 50-50s, the last 3 have gone Miami's way, and it's just unbelievable how the greatest players in the world are able to get the referee a little bit on their side. Messi talked to him twice, respectfully. Also showed he's a little bit angry. And all of a sudden, Busquets doesn't get called for a potential foul in midfield. And I'm telling you, I'm not so sure if that's a foul against Martinez. But, man, it's right down the middle, Phil. Messi territory again.
By the way, a penalty early in the second half. Mazatlan surrenders a goal to Velasco and Dallas in the lead. That would mean whoever or if Miami wins here, they would head to Dallas in the next match. This free kick, not that much further away than the belter against Cruz Azul. Messi over the ball. 5 in the wall and a baseboard below. Messi looking for the corner, and he had it, but Galese slaps it away.
Yeah, Galese, brilliant. The wall is protecting that side there, but he read it quite early. He cheated just a little bit, Phil, in his favor, and gets a touch on that one, because that's destined for the upper V.
95-minute rain delay as we head towards the 45th minute.
And going back, it's 1-1, Phil. Yes, we want to win, and I hope we will win as well. It might not be bad for this team to go on the road before they go to Cincinnati, so these new players can get a feel of playing, American hotels, etc., etc. And by the way, Joe Malfa was the one that talked to us about that in the pregame as well. Joe Malfa standing behind us.
2 more minutes, guys.
Yeah.
2 minutes added as we are now in added time in this opening half. Messi from the far corner. 6 pink jerseys in the box. Sailing for Kipsov, headed away. Hard hit as down goes Antonio Carlos. No whistle. Messi again drags to his right. Good pressure from Maguire to knock the pass free. And out comes Orlando on the break. Here comes Angulo trying to peel away. Yedlin and Arroyo are back. Angulo to the middle. Maguire inside the 18. Tries to dish it off, but Allen was there. And as they try and clear it away, Busquets was held. No foul as Miami maintaining possession, and a good turn by Kramaski. Messi with a hip check, and the referee just looks the other way. Messi through a double team, and he's stripped. Now comes a whistle now, and it looks like a card. Messi angry, but it's Orlando City that's on the receiving end.
Okay, I was talking too soon before. Now they get bad blood. Go for it. Go for it. Messi was asking for the yellow card. And yes.
This was brewing. All the niggling fouls, the holding, the shoving away from the ball, and then all of a sudden some harder tackles. This was just building towards this momentum. Both coaches very engaged, trying to work the fourth official, trying to work each other. And then 2 teams right now that are not taking any prisoners.
So a free kick just across the half. This might be the final play of this opening half. Just 2 minutes were added. What it does do, regardless of what happens here, is set the stage for what could be a mouth-watering second half. Busquets ready to put this in play. Kramaski, Messi, and Martinez, the 3 men in the middle of the field. Galese just outside his 6 of the Orlando goal. The line about 25 yards out. Busquets rolls. Kramaski pulling back. They'll retreat to Miller. The ref checking his watch. Does Miami want to have one go? In for Kramaski. Top of the 18. Rifles the shot on the half volley. The one-touch blast just goes wide. Beautiful idea, but not quite sharp enough as the first half comes to a close.
Brilliant run by Benja Kramaski. And you said, Phil, he's got nice chemistry with Messi. And they talk to each other a little bit. Messi goes short, and all of a sudden Benja comes from deep and splits up back forward. A great run. Just cannot finish. What a good first half that was for both teams, by the way. All to play for Phil Shane in that second half. Do we see Alba?
Fernando Fiore, the half coming to a close, and we're starting to see some smoke.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I was talking too soon before. It was a clean first 45 minutes. And in the last 2 minutes of the added time, well, everything went berserk. Actually, Tata Martino is much more calmer right now. Messi was having a discussion in the way out, but everything is calm right now.
Messi and Araujo in a little pushing match in the tunnel as things are hot. This is the Florida Derby. It is the Leagues Cup knockout stage. And this is Inter Miami Soccer on 560 WQAM.
Dolphins underway. We've got the latest from training camp. News, notes, reaction from the coaches and players. Everything that's happening at Fins Camp. We'll tell you about it. Keep it here for Dolphins training camp coverage. AM 560 Sports WQAM. FM 99.9 HD2. And always live on the free Odyssey app. Download it today.
you can host the best backyard barbecue. You find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? Click now and find summer happiness in a new Chevy. See your South Florida Chevy dealer. Traverse seating update standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier and High Country seat 7.
I'm Listening reminds you that talk saves lives. And 988 makes it even easier to reach out and talk. When you dial or text 988, you'll be connected with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. And now you can reach out and get help in Spanish, providing you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. More at imlistening.org.
What's that, pizza?
No, it's KFC's $20 fill-up box. Does this mean pizza night is now chicken night?
Oh, yes, it's chicken night. Kentucky Fried Chicken night. Oh, yes, it's chicken night. Oh,
make it a chicken night with Kentucky Fried Chicken's $20 fill-up box. Get 12 nuggets, 4 biscuits, 4 pieces of chicken, a large serving of fries, and 4 sauces of your choice. That's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Bobby, did we get that shipment of mesquite?
Jim's woodworking shop worked fine.
Good fit on those Japanese corners.
Until half his staff retired.
Wow, those cuts are neat. I'm really going to miss your precision.
He needs 4 skilled woodworker bees ASAP.
All right, this jigsaw needs a new blade.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's halftime, and appropriately enough, it's the Inter Miami Halftime Show on AM 560 Sports WQAM 99.9 HD2 and streaming on the Odyssey app.
Welcome back to the Celsius Halftime Show here on WQAM. Phil Shane, Thomas Rongan, and Fernando Fiore. Before we check on the scoreboard of the stats, Fernando, bring you in for a moment, just noticing one change. The intensity of the halftime workout by the substitutes. Can't quite tell if that is Gerardo Jr. out there, along with Javi Morales. But this is not just a kick around. They're going through stations and everything right now. They're taking it seriously. And as we saw in that first half, Fernando, these two teams are starting to take this seriously.
Blood starts to be boiling from both sides, and Messi and Araujo were coming out of the pitch, discussing something that they didn't like. And obviously, you cannot do that to Messi when Messi gets really, really mad. It's the death sentence for the other team. Unfortunately, it was Messi so alone in the first goal, but then in the second goal from the one from Orlando, you can't try to defend that particular second ball with 5 or 6 pink jerseys on the area and leaving Araujo by himself. Now everything is going moving forward right here in the middle of the field. Like I mentioned before, it was a big conversation between Jordi Alba and Leo Campana. We'll see. Maybe both of them will go in the second half.
And again, as we saw as well, a nice little conversation between Cesar Araujo and Lionel Messi in the tunnel heading to the dressing rooms. Not the first time an Uruguayan and an Argentine have been in a heated discussion. Take a look at the stats, 7-5 in shots, each team with 3 on target. 72% possession for Miami and 390 passes compared to 28 and 146. But again, where it counts, it's all tied at 1. By the way, speaking of tied at 1, Mazatlan has equalized as they approach the hour mark Match at Toyota Stadium in Dallas, 1-1 the score. Velasco is scoring from the spot 3 minutes into the second half. Montaño equalizing just 2 minutes ago. So the Mexican side fighting back. Meanwhile, Pachuca and Houston, who could be opponents later in this tournament, still scoreless with a half hour to go. We've got highlights and more to come from Drive Pink. You're listening to the Celsius Halftime Show, Inter Miami Soccer on Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
Make this the summer at Miami Lakes Auto Mall. Save thousands and drive with zero down or zero payments for 90 days on most new models. The Ram 1500 has received J.D. Power's best drive appeal among large light-duty trucks 3 years in a row. Get a brand new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab for $459 per month for 42 months or save thousands off MSRP on select vehicles. Buy online at Miami Lakes Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.com. Call 844-255-2474 for details.
The second half of the baseball season is here, and each game means a little bit more. We're talking pennant races and wild card chases, with each pitch bringing us closer to the playoffs. The free Odyssey app lets you listen to live play-by-play of your local team. So no matter what you're up to, you'll never have to miss another game. Download the free Odyssey app today and keep baseball close by all summer long. That's AUDACY. Odyssey.
Driving means freedom,
exploration,
fun,
pride,
flexibility,
travel,
protection,
ability,
friendship, escape,
independence.
Distracted driving means danger,
Recklessness,
irresponsible,
chaos, police,
devastation,
injury,
tears, death. Safe driving means staying alert and staying alive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to sit through their favorite boy band with them, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Let's go to the booth for more of the halftime show on AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and streaming on the Odyssey app.
And welcome back to Drive Pink Stadium. 1-1 the score at the half. It was Orlando putting Miami under pressure in the early going, but then things started to turn around, and Inter Miami able to find the goal 16 minutes in. That was the start of some interesting play in that opening half. Arroyo now to Messi, slices for Busquets, threads it for Kramaski. Out wide now for Taylor. Taylor drives on his right foot, cuts across the 18, a chip for Messi, Santos, shoots, scores! Oh my goodness! An absolute gem! Inter Miami strikes first on a masterpiece by Messi. Robert Taylor, brilliant dish. Messi would finish 6 minutes in and Inter Miami in front, but 10 minutes later, some sloppiness on a corner would come back to cost the Herons. Inter Miami, 5 players inside their 6. They'll play it back inside the 18, pushing forward. Angulo sweeps it across, slapped away by Callender. The rebound to the back post, and it's buried by Orlando. The goal for Cesar Araujo, and we're tied at 1. Approaching the end of that half, and a free kick for Lionel Messi. Shades of his heroics against Cruz Azul, but not quite this time. Messi over the ball, 5 in the wall, and a baseboard below. Messi looking for the corner, and he had it. Magalhaes slaps it away.
Yeah, Magalhaes, brilliant. The wall is protecting that side there, but he read it quite early. He cheated just a little bit, Phil, in his favor, and gets a touch on that one, because that's destined for the upper V.
7-5 in shots, 1-1 in goals. Thomas Rongen, give us your thoughts on that opening half.
I love the Phil. Had everything that you and I talked about, knowing what derbies bring in his great rivalry. One of the best, I think, in MLS, and this time it's in the Leagues Cup in a knockout stage. 45 minutes to go, Phil. Draw, there will be penalties. Lose, go home, advance, or win, and you advanced, obviously. And you had everything. Messi's first yellow card, obviously. intense tackles, yellow cards, goals. This derby had everything. And, hey, all to play for his 45. But what I find fascinating is the in-game tactical changes that both coaches are making and not going away from it. Allen and Yetlin, deep initially, all of a sudden became wingers, forcing Orlando out wide, but also giving, in transition, in particular, Aguilar some opportunities to spearhead their counterattack. Interested to see if Orlando, again, is going to absorb pressure for long periods of time, or if they go on the front foot and give Inter Miami something different. Important for both coaches. They have to talk about discipline right here, because it went off just before the half. The team that can keep their coolest and their composure has an opportunity to win this game.
45 minutes more and maybe penalties to follow. We need a winner tonight. You're listening to Inter Miami Soccer on 560 QAM.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? Click now and find summer happiness in a new Chevy. See your South Florida Chevy dealer. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier, and High Country seat 7.
I'm Listening reminds you that talk saves lives. And 988 makes it even easier to reach out and talk. When you dial or text 988, you'll be connected with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. And now you can reach out and get help in Spanish, providing you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. More at imlistening.org.
University Dodge, Florida's #1 volume Ram truck dealer. Make this the summer. Get up to 25% off MSRP or 1.9% APR on select new Ram 1500 trucks between Griffin and Sterling on University Drive in Davie or universitydodge.com.
Pass to Celsius, 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 still Celsius, 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 goal, 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 goal! Incredible! Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF.
Let's get going. Time for the second half. Inter Miami CF on AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and streaming on the Odyssey app.
Approaching the start of the second half, the Orlando City substitute still working out. No sign of Inter Miami at the moment. 1-1 the score. Thomas, that first half, you talked about maintaining cool. Well, in some ways, you could say the fuse was lit when the two coaches started arguing over a throw-in.
Yes, it did. And, everybody knows the importance, Phil, of knockout games, beat the World Cup or any other big competition. And this is a big competition, by the way, where MLS wants to compete better than the Mexican teams. Obviously, huge for both of these MLS teams to advance. But what adjustments are both coaches going to make within their starting 11? Looks like right now, no substitutes. That's one. Two, obviously, can you free up Busquets a little bit more? And you can see that Messi is drifting right now. Yes, got a lot of touches, but not as many in dangerous areas. So those are two key components where Oscar Pareja has done a great job in stopping, again, Busquets initially and Messi for long periods of time. So how do you counteract that if you're Tata Martino? Intriguing. And then, let's be real honest, Phil, this game might come down to X factors, and the biggest one, substitutions. Both teams still have 5 left. Both teams have difference makers. I look obviously at Campana as a 9, but also Jordi Alba, one of the best passers in the business that can give Inter Miami something a little bit more.
Well,
celebrity check.
I was going to go through it. We hear Bad Bunny in the speakers, but there's some other celebs downfield. What's? I guess they heard you were here, Fernando.
Let me tell you, William Leonard Roberts II is here. And you say, what? Who's that? Well, maybe you know him as Rick Ross. My son Gianluca is asking me, Dad, get a picture with Rick Ross. And I said, Gianluca, I'd rather wait until Paul McCartney or maybe Who else?
Well, look just down because Mark Anthony's here also.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're into Dominican rap, but El Alfa, Derek Jeter, if you're a Yankees fan. So it is always a packed house in the VIP tent.
Yeah, but I have Jordi Alba right next to me, so
Well, that's who everyone came to see.
Yeah, that's it. It's a pandemonium right here in the back because everybody is taking pictures of Jordi Alba from the stands, and again, Leo Campana and Jordi Alba were coming together, talking. So those friendships that we get, they're here.
The ball underway as the second half kicks off. Orlando pushing quickly towards Calendar's side. Miami in the pink, attacking the goal to the south, or the goal to the north, and the fan section. Calendar dressed resplendently in his yellow jersey. Token pressure from Maguire as he dishes off to Krivtsov. Drives it into the middle of the park for Messi, but intercepted. Good ball forward. Angulo lifts it in, headed high, but an easy grab for Calendar. No changes at the half. And again, no extra time here today. The coaches, I guess they kind of like this, the way this match was percolating at the end of 45, Thomas.
Yeah, I see a change right now. Orlando, a little bit higher pressure. And now twice Inter Miami struggling to get out of their back.
Facundo Torres trying to split it through. Krivtsov parries it away towards midfield. His Swedish counterpart, Janssen, stepping forward. And here comes Orlando again. Miller heading it, but only as far as Torres. Busquets with the block, and it bounces away, but now it's Cartagena. Out wide, far side, Rafa Santos, the Brazilian, off a deflection into the air. Calendar soars over Krivtsov with a two-footed punch, challenging for it Yedlin, but blocked away by Cartagena again. So as they did at the start of this match, Orlando City trying to pressure Miami.
Yeah.
And the ball has not left the Inter end. A sloppy ball here, though. They'll get a break and a breather as it rolls out for the goal kick.
Yeah, and that's the adjustment Oscar Pereira made. He's pressing right now and trying to find vulnerabilities in the buildup of Inter Miami. And twice, again, they've not been able to connect into the middle third, which means they haven't found Busquets or Messi.
Again, up next for the winner of this, Mazatlan Dallas. That one 1-1 with about 20 minutes left to go. Busquets intercepts an Orlando thrust forward. Arroyo rolls it back for Miller, and the Canadian, a former Orlando City player in his own right. So something to prove tonight. Up across midfield. Allen pushing wide. The teenager from South Florida rolls it into the middle for Arroyo. 47 minutes played. Now to Busquets as they'll sweep it far side. Messi settles off his chest, looking for Yedlin's run, but it never opens. Calmly into the middle for Arroyo, and now the Ecuadorian chops up some turf as they push 30 yards away from goal. Got 70% possession, nearly 400 passes. Kramaski fakes it. Down goes Martinez. Penalty is called. Kramaski on a quick turn, threads it through the back line, and Josef Martinez challenging the defense and is pulled down for the foul. Miami will go to the spot with a chance to take the lead.
Nice interplay on that left side. Noah Allen, Robert Taylor once or twice, and all of a sudden, Benja Kramansky comes centrally, and Robert Taylor finds a lane. He's opening up right now, finds that little through ball to Josef Martinez, and that's where he made a living. Very interesting to see.
Will VAR have anything to say about this?
I think they will look at this again, yeah. But there is a little bit of contact with that right arm. Is it enough, though, to give this a penalty? I say yes.
Antonio Carlos swimming his arm over Martinez. There was contact, and as Martinez tried to fight free, he goes down. And again, the question is it a clear enough miss to waive the penalty off?
Well,
I think there's enough there.
Let's go down to the field. Fernando Fiore right there.
Yeah, I was very close, and they're checking right now. I will say it was a touch. I don't know if it's enough for the penalty. The yellow card was issued, but hey, it's 50-50, man, right now. I wouldn't bet my house on it, but I will say they're going to get for the penalty.
Well, talked about that Nations League final with the U.S. against Mexico where Ivan Cisneros was in charge. He pulled a red card 4 times. an earlier match. What was it? I think it was the Seattle match in the final with 3 penalties called there. So he's not afraid of the limelight. And it looks like this call will stand. So Josef Martinez, a slow start, 6 goals in MLS, looking for his first in the Leagues Cup.
Messi had that ball in his hand for a long time, and Messi recognizes there's nobody else that needs a goal more than Josef Martinez.
Perfect from the spot, 2 for 2 on the MLS season. The only penalty that Gallese has faced was converted. Straightaway approach for Martinez. The ball 12 paces down. Steps, stutters, shoots into the open net as the Peruvian dives the other way, and Miami back in front.
Goal! Not the fireworks!
I'm telling you, that's for a guy that has not scored a lot of goals this year. A very, very confident Josef Martinez, who did twice the stutter step and eventually got Gallese frozen and moving to his left side, and then just tucked that one with the inside of his right foot to the opposite side. We can see again, yes, there is contact. I might even say if you give the penalty, because it's the last defender, like McVay next week, I would say to Miami, go and tell him it's a red card. So Orlando might actually get off.
All right.
By the way, a goal for Dallas. They've retaken the lead against Mazatlan in an MLS versus Liga MX showdown. That LA Juarez game also underway as Josef Martinez, that celebration for the 7th time this season, his first in the Leagues Cup.
And what a great ball by the youngster, Benja Kremansky. The weight of the ball is perfect. If the touch isn't there, Martinez is in 1v1.
Ball off to the near side for Orlando. Took him 10 minutes to equalize last time. Kyle Smith drives in the right back with his left foot. Couldn't get it past Arroyo, but the ball bounces back. Lifted into the area by Cartagena. Nowhere near the danger zone, and Callender will let it bounce. So as we reach 52 minutes in this one, another early goal. This was the team that could not score at the start of this season, but they scored 6.5 minutes into the first half, and now 6 minutes into the second. Can they hold on this time? Miller to midfield. Nice by Cartagena to pull it away from Kremansky, and here comes Orlando again. Ball through from Araujo, in by Pareja, laid back McGuire, but he actually might have taken it off Angulo's boot, and now Miami looking to counter.
Great point, Phil. Yes, there was a mistake by McGuire, who has had some good looks, but really
foul Pereira.
Hasn't been the danger man that he's been in the last few weeks for this team. Had one great chance, 2 opportunities to find teammates, hasn't done that, and looks a little uncomfortable right now. But again, it's a guy that only needs half a chance to bury one as well.
What a great gesture from Leo Messi giving the penalty to Josef Martinez. Certainly, I said it in the first half. We needed more for Josef Martinez. Well, he created the penalty. He took it with la paradinha a lo Neymar. And what a nice goal to go 2-1.
And that's a great point, El Presidente, si senor, that Messi again recognizes that somebody else on his team needs this more than myself, because easily he could have done that, but brilliant gesture.
Well, some people wondering why Messi was given the captain's armband after just joining this club. It's decisions like that.
Yeah.
Out wide for Allen.
Interesting story in that one, actually. That was told by Tata Martino. He said, it's up to you, Andre Yettlin. And Yettlin was the one that said Messi should be our captain.
In for Arroyo, who, by the way, is closing in on 100 passes tonight. And we've still got 40 minutes to play. Back in for the Ecuadorian. Busquets makes the run, lays it back for Arroyo, off for Krivtsov. And this is where the possession and the Tata Martino Barcelona-like passing can really pay off. It's way too early to kill a game, but this is a way to frustrate Orlando.
Right. And again, Orlando's done a great job, in particular when it turns over. Pereira looks for Busquets right away. But Arroyo right now has picked up the slack a little bit because he's open all the time. He can make just better decisions in his vertical play. Phil Shane, he could have some assists as well.
Angulo forced a long clearance by Callender, but Orlando can't make anything of it. Into the middle for Messi, but he and Busquets lose possession. That's a rarity. Orlando quickly surrenders it back, and Miller wide left for Allen. We're still awaiting Jordi Alba's debut, but Noah Allen says he's not ready to give it up just yet.
He's right next to me. Should I talk to him? Hey, Jordi, are we going in?
Martinez a little sloppy, and as they fight to get it back, a free kick for Orlando just in their half.
Now, 2-1 right now, and we get team functioning quite well. I would ride this horse for a while. Up 2-1. No need to force and say, I need to give Alba 20 or 30 minutes. Let the game and Noah Allen, quite frankly, dictate, who's played quite well on that left side as well. This team right now has got some good chemistry, and they're not giving away chances, Phil, in this first half after 10 minutes plus.
Miami in pink from the right to the left. All purple, maybe a little black and blue as well. Orlando defending the goal towards the left. Krivtsov wide for Yedlin.
And going back to the tactical battlefield, Tata's going to say, hey, you know what? The onus is on Oscar Pareja to make his changes first. Based on that, I might actually bring somebody in because I got to counter it when he goes maybe with a twin striker or whatever it might be. And we see two players coming over right now, Phil, to the bench towards Oscar Pareja to come in.
Changes loosening up.
And now it's up to the assistant coaches of Tata Martino. It's quite a few of them, by the way, to decide.
On the turn, but Arroyo gets tangled. Gramaski was off to the races, but a foul behind the play.
They are intensifying here the warming up of Jordi Alba and Gomez, the young Paraguayan, Robinson, Victor Ulloa, Leo Campana.
A lot of options, El Presidente, for Tata Martino. Those are some quality players in all three lines.
Free kick for Orlando, about 35 yards out, just to the left of center. Callender in the middle of his 6 as Miami's defense lines up at the 18. Lifted in, loose off Busquets, cleared away by Arroyo. Out to midfield, down goes Messi, hit in the face. Might not have been intentional, but the arm was flailing, and a card comes out. This one is yellow. And VAR will be taking a look as Messi down in a heap.
And it's the second time the two number 10s have collided, and where Pareja has been the aggressor right there. He knows what's coming. He turns his back and follows with his elbow, shoulder, and body weight into Messi. He knew what he was doing.
Looking at the replay, nothing overtly
done,
but it was leaving his shoulder out, and Messi catches it with his jaw. He is down. Doesn't appear to be any blood, but he does appear to be in pain. They will check and probably even concussion check on this one. So Miami is going to be shorthanded for a little bit.
And interesting too, Phil, you've called more Messi games than probably anybody else in the United States. Messi doesn't stay down often. He is tougher than people give him. He gets whacked and gets up again. This is a little concerning. He's down there looking underneath his chin. It seems like there might be some blood.
It's a little harder. Of course, just ask Real Madrid what happens when you make him angry.
And right now, both hands over his face, still laying down on his back for our listeners just to understand what's happening. And that's a concern, obviously.
By the way, Ramiro Enrique, the Argentine forward, and Jan Thorolsen, the Icelandic midfielder, about ready to check in for Orlando, but all eyes on the Miami number 10.
He's slowly now getting up, and it wouldn't surprise me if this warrants a independent check.
Okay,
on
here
the
we go.
Sideline for VAR.
Here we go.
It does look like Jordi Alba is heading back to midfield, Fernando.
Yes, sir. Jordi Alba and Gomez, both of them. I saw Jordi Alba tying his shoes just 1 minute ago, and I was ready to tell you when the unfortunate Messi was coming down. But Jordi Alba is ready, getting his jersey, and so is Gomez, the youngster from Paraguay.
Jordi Alba needs no introduction. Diego Gomez, still 20 years of age, playing for Libertad through their promising system. Messi getting looked at. And Orlando has made the switch So new faces up front and in the back. Long ball forward, trying to spring Martinez. Kramaski gets the clearance. Messi settles, dishes wide near side for Taylor. Driving in. One touch Messi. Kramaski across Martinez. And he slams it off the face of Robin Janssen. Miami putting the pressure on. Out for Pereira. As Orlando trying to get out of danger. Down the line for Facundo Torres. So Messi almost threading through what could have been a third as we've reached the 60th minute. 2-1 for Inter Miami over their arch rivals Orlando.
Very smart for Kremaski to stay on. Everybody was asking for the offside, but he was perfectly positioned and get a nice cross. Ascona and Ruiz are here now, warming up.
Orelson to the inside. He's taking over on this right back for Kyle Smith, while Duncan McGuire replaced on that front line. Out wide, looking for an opening, crossed, but an easy grab for Callender. Sloppy from the flank by Pereira. Callender holding on. Enrique putting some token pressure back to Callender. Good with his feet. One of the things that caught the U.S. national team's attention. Off to the near side. Hard ball from Miller, and Allen could not maintain possession. Throw in Orlando, and now Miami's changes will come in. The fans ready to cheer their two newest additions, but they'll have to wait a little bit, says the referee. The Orlando throw in for Pereira, poked away by Noah Allen, maybe his final contribution. Steps inside. Arroyo jumping in front of Angulo, who goes down in a heap, and a foul called against Miami.
And the big question right now is Tata Martino going to sacrifice the two youngsters and bring in another young player, Diogo Gomez? Don't get me wrong, but with more international experience to see this game out. So like for like with Alba for Noah Allen, and he's wearing a number 8 jersey, Gomez, for Benja Kramansky.
Well, we've got a free kick for Orlando to worry about at the moment. 63rd minute of play. And it will be Pereira lifting it in towards the penalty spot, cleared away by Martinez. Only as far as Santos, the Brazilian, back across, but his pass misses the mark, and it's out for the goal kick. And now the substitutes will come in, and it will be the two South Florida natives exiting. The 18-year-old Benja Kramaski replaced by Diego Gomez, the 20-year-old Paraguayan, and Jordi Alba in for Noah Allen. And just hear the fans welcome.
Oh, yeah, they are happy right here at the North Stand. La Familia is waving flags and cheering for the new addition. Another ex-Barcelona, Busquets, Messi, and now Jordi Alba. 30 minutes for both players, Gomez and Jordi Alba.
And again, Facundo Farias, Thomas Avila, the newest members who have not quite joined the team, but maybe we'll see them against Dallas if that score holds, as does this. 2-1 Miami, less than a half hour to go. Dallas leading 2-1 as they head towards injury time. Still no score Pachuca-Houston, as that match might go to penalties. No score early on, LA and Juarez. Good pressure, steals the ball away from Gomez on his first touch. Orlando about 30 yards out, right side. They'll dish it on the far flank. Santos. The cross blocked away. Settled by Pereira in the 18. Shot turned, blocked away, and out for the goal kick as he hits his own teammate.
Yeah, I think that Tata Martino's staff pretty much probably told Jordi Alba and Gomez, based on their information back to the coaching staff, but this was done with intent. Give him 25 or 30 minutes, regardless what the scoreline is, because you can argue that Noah Allen and Benja Kramansky were actually playing pretty well.
Alba's first touch, and he finds Messi, tries to dummy it through, it deflects off to Gomez. Gomez with a long ball, and Alba on his horse, but that one's going to go out.
I got it.
Right to El Presidente.
Good first touch, El Presidente. Muy bien.
Next change for Orlando. And Fernando looks like Pereira's day is done.
Yeah, Pereira really spent more time defending, Mr. Busquets. So with Cara and this substitution here, you get some more juice for Orlando.
Yeah.
Another Argentine as Martin Ojeda steps onto the pitch.
So how many Argentinians are right now in the pitch?
Wow.
Including me.
Too many, El Presidente.
Too many.
North Bay Village is empty.
Hey, never too many.
Gomez in for Taylor. Busquets finds
Here we
Messi.
go.
Open 20 yards out. Blasts it in. The block by the big Swede Janssen. And he tries to dribble his way out. Leaning in Gomez, hip to hip. But the whistle blows just enough to draw the yellow.
And there you see some of the glimpses, although it's a yellow card, of Diego Gomez, who's a very exciting 8, box-to-box guy that can tackle, but also can provide. Guy that went under the radar, not from the greatest leagues in the world in Paraguay, but captained the under-20 team. Also made some appearances for the senior Paraguayan national team as well. I mean, great addition.
Ojeda, by the way, the 24-year-old out of Godoy Cruz. Another ex-Racing man. And he'll be out on the wing.
And let's don't forget Tata Martino, knowing very well the Paraguayan League, being the coach of Paraguay for several years.
Stepping in was Gomez. Almost stole it, but enough contact to draw the whistle. Fans not happy with a few whistles of their own. Haraldsson, the Icelandic wing back on this near flank.
Yeah,
as Miami tries to turn the pressure up.
He's a better attacking fullback than Smith. So Oscar Pereira's rolling the dice in a knockout stage game that you have to right now. Makes them vulnerable defensively, Phil, but better going forward.
Into added time. Dallas still with a slim lead. No score. Pachuca Houston looks like penalties there. 2-1 here. Miami in front midway into the second half. The ball deflected and Callender quick off his line to pounce before it went out for the corner.
And certainly the possession is being much more balanced here in the second half than it was in the first half.
Well, overwhelmingly, Miami through the 68 minutes. Orlando fighting for an equalizer. Good work by Miller and Busquets. The emergency release valve. Things just seem to calm down when he gets a touch. Back for Kipsov.
Certainly does. Just his presence there, occupying people. When he gets it, he rarely loses it.
Miller pulls it back behind his back in a right-footed blast, but off target. Threlson stepping forward, driving to the front line. Ball off to Ojeda, who has a go from 25. And a rocket that missed the launch pad into the stands and right in the lumberyard.
And here comes an interesting question for you guys. Have you ever imagined that we're going to have 3 ex-Barca players with a pink shirt at the same time at Dry Pink Stadium?
No, and a coach,
Marcelo Claude did.
And a coach as well. You know, Tata Martino, obviously, that was at Barcelona. Yeah, amazing, El Presidente. Whoever thought?
Again, thinking back to the Bolivian businessman who was a big part of MLS coming back. Had a dream that is starting to become reality and might be joined by Luis Suarez before next year. Back comes Busquets, headed away by Miller nicely, and Alba settles on a jeweled cushion. In for Taylor, but good step in Cartagena. Haraldsson, as you said, really pinching forward more than Kyle Smith did. And it is a very slim 1-goal lead for Miami with just over 20 to go. Out wide, far side. Good step in by Busquets, forcing the errant touch. Messi on the ball. Circles into the center circle, looking for Alba. The first of many passes between those two, most likely. Back to Busquets. Not the first time they've done that. Slowly for Kipsov. And for Miami again, taking the pot off the burner.
Great point, Phil. Great point. Yeah, that shows the maturity right now of this team in 2 weeks' time. Up to 1, keeping the ball right now. Let Orlando chase. Not throwing numbers forward crazily, but just very smart. Resting with the ball, Phil. Huge, you know that in football.
Arroyo playing traffic cop, signaling Yedlin to spank it back, and he finds Miller. Through Alba up to Martinez. And again, Martinez, maybe not quite Atlanta form, but he is closer to that MVP that Tata Martino put together. Gomez sneaking towards the front line. Tackled away by Cartagena right in front of the referee. Alba couldn't get there. Ojeda does.
Siga.
Ball into the middle, and up steps Arroyo, and just gets enough of the man. Fernando Fiore, they're leaving it stuck in a bit here.
Yes, sir, because I saw him flying over. And lucky Arroyo, he didn't get the yellow card.
Again, I like this. At the 70th minute, still hunt, still be aggressive. Not overly aggressive, but still compete far away from goal. Make it hard for Orlando as well. Back in that 4-4-2 shape with Messi and Martinez high.
Dallas holding on for that 2-1 lead over Liga MX side Mazatlan. They move on. If Miami holds on, they'll travel to Toyota Field in Dallas for the next round. Ball wide. Enrique launched in. Callender plays his line, but the cross over Thorolfsson. Now it's Taylor on the back of the Icelandic winger. Makes the turn, but no one home. Leading for Ojeda, but he'll retreat. The penalty whistled against the Brazilian veteran Antonio Carlos, converted by Josef Martinez. The difference in this one. Up steps Gomez, but enough of a battle from the Brazilian. Sloppy pass. Angulo, Busquets finds Messi, threads it for Taylor. Martinez is open in the middle if he can find him, but Orlando tracks back quickly. The Finn to the 18, lifting it across. Settled Martinez, back for Messi! Oh! Each one better than the last!
Goal and fireworks! Messi again!
An absolutely brilliant design goal. Starting again with the central hub. The creator initially, Leo Messi, finding his favorite overlapping guy, Robert Taylor. The chip to Josef Martinez. The understanding and the cunning ability to find Messi, who's trailing, who tucks that one away. Oh my God, big time goal. Brace for Messi, 3-1.
Taylor, Martinez unselfishly and wisely, not so much that it was Messi, but that Messi was in a better position.
And we talked about, and Fernando talked about a quiet Martinez, throughout this season. Goal and an assist right now. Looks lively. Draws the penalty, as you said, Phil, as well. Very much involved. And clearly the number 9 striker over Leo Campana for Tata Martino.
And let me add something. Messi knew exactly where I was standing because everybody was looking for the offside, but it was one guy in the back, and Messi was right there waiting for the ball. Brilliant chip by Josef Martinez.
Angulo trying to cut into the lead again. The Colombian weaves and winds, but poked away Kripsov. Back in front, Ojeda, headed clear. Gomez trying to get a body in front. Good work by Ramiro Enrique, but the ball bounces for Alba. And again, this is where Miami can be lethal. They patiently drew Orlando forward and then combined with Messi. Long ball for Gomez. Flag stays down. Out comes Galese. And the referee lifts the arm himself. Gomez just a little eager.
Yeah, and as I said again, I've looked at some video of Gomez. This guy's got 4 lungs. Can press, as you can see here. Is willing to go places without the ball, which will benefit the great passes in the world, Messi and Busquets. So now you got better runners off the ball in Taylor, in Gomez.
It gives us a chance here with 15 minutes left and a 3-1 lead. Orlando pushing forward. Let's talk about some of these changes. And who knows, we might even see him against FC Dallas in the next round.
Yep.
Out on that far flank, trying to cut inside, but enough of a tangle to draw the whistle. Fernando Fiori, I know a lot of people looking forward to seeing the young playmaker Facundo Farias, but Thomas Avila, very strong, promising defender.
Yeah, certainly does. It's a lot of people waiting for Facundo Farias, but also I think the most search of the player is Toto Avilés. He's a center back from Racing Club. I think he's going to make a big difference in our back line.
Off the free kick, loose in front, knotted down off the defense. No, they're going to say it came off of a purple jersey, and a goal kick for Callender. And we were talking about this earlier. There's a chance Miami could have maybe the best team in MLS with the deepest roster and still not make the playoffs. That's the hole they are in. But there are, as you've liked to point out, 2 trophies to win before then.
That's right.
And Miami looking pretty good.
And not only that, miracles happen.
Well, Messi is the miracle man. Ball back for Miller.
Hallelujah.
That's 5 goals, 2 assists in around 200 minutes right now for Messi. Insane.
Here across.
And a yellow card.
Which in some ways sparked the fire out wide. Cross blocked by Yedlin and bounces away, and here's Messi. Orlando had thrown bodies forward. Messi with time and space. That's not a good formula for the opposition. But he'll retreat to Arroyo and wide for Alba. Oscar Pereira gesturing right in his coaching area. Meanwhile, calm, hands on hips, Tata Martino. The master plan coming to fruition. Ole's going down. Welcome to Soccer City, South Florida.
Ole! Oh, la familia is happy.
And it's not just them. A dour look on the 300-plus purple jerseys to our right. They thought they had a chance when they fought back for the equalizer, but Lionel Messi had something else in mind. Gomez back to Callender. Cutting back Miller nicely. Gomez and Arroyo got to be close to 20 touches right now. And again, how frustrating it has to be Orlando City. Forget getting a goal, they can't get the ball.
Get ready for Ruiz.
Well, it looks like another South Florida youngster about to come in to put this one to bed. Arroyo down, but possession maintained. In for Martinez. Wide for Messi, who was camped out on the right. Fans starting to buzz as he drives, slots it through. Martinez in. Galese out just in time. 2 more changes for Orlando as well. Rolling the dice. It's Felipe Martins, the Brazilian midfielder, and Ercan, the Austrian forward, the big man who has caused problems for Miami, but that was a different Inter Miami.
Talan. Time for Campana.
And Leo Campana also sprinting to midfield. Stolen away by Gomez as he stripped Cartagena, but the ball rolls back to Janssen. Thomas, remember, it wasn't that long ago we were talking about how slim the bench was for Inter Miami.
Yeah.
Not just the new faces. We're also getting close to, as Miller with a nice bit of defense, Gregory and John Mota coming back to full health. Robbie Robinson also available. And Tata Martino with a full cupboard.
And some youngsters as well. It looks like David Ruiz is coming in with Leo Campana. Nice for Tata Martino to, yes, he's taken out 2 youngsters, but that's another youngster right now, and David Ruiz.
Miller brought down on the challenge. And the referee will allow the substitutions. Orlando getting a little chippy as we approach the 80th minute. Coming out is the Peruvian Cartagena. And are they pulling Ojeda? They're subbing the sub? No, must have been the wrong number.
Yeah, they got to go for broke right now, being 3-1 down. I almost think that the 3rd goal was the dagger and the insurance goal for Inter Miami, but stranger things have happened in derbies.
It's Angulo who exits. And by the way, Arroyo will come out.
Yep.
And right now he's sitting in the center circle. maybe a chance for his teammates to catch breath, but we also saw him laboring just a bit, so Ruiz will check in.
Yeah, and Martinez is done too. So now you make 2 changes based on fatigue. Very good in-game management by Tata Martino throughout almost 3 games now.
Fernando Fiore down on the sideline near where the subs were. I don't really get an idea. What were they doing? They're supposed to be loosening up, but it's kind of hard to take your eyes off what was going on the field.
Yeah, well, Arroyo is still on the ground. That's not good at all. But right here next to me, there are Neville and Ulloa, Robinson, and Ascona getting ready. We have one more substitution.
Yeah, and then Tata's going to wait for an injury or something like that. Not gamble right now, but he still's got one left till Presidente corrected. He'll be smart in how he uses that one.
Well, especially look at now, Arroyo doesn't look good at all. There's a lot of people coming in. It looks like they're going to
was thinking it might be just a chance to catch his breath, but he is still down.
Yeah.
And they are trying to stretch his right leg.
Yeah, the last game, Lionel Messi determined, put his hand up to Tata Martino when he came out. He came off the bench in the first one, was brilliant in the second one. Did came off in the 78th minute. We're now around 80th. Last thing you need is for Messi to get injured, but he's a guy that wants to play in every game and finishes games as well. Interesting to see if Messi in his second start will go the 90 minutes, Phil.
By the way, it looked like, speaking of youngsters, Gerardo Andres Martino, Gerardo Jr. was the one whispering instructions into Ruiz's ear as he gets set to step onto the field, and Arroyo is being stretchered off. He is sitting up, but it looks like that right leg is hurt. So that does throw something into Martino's game plans for Dallas, but it's nice to have a youngster who's been blooded already in Ruiz.
Yep.
Alba off the restart. Campana with a nice run. Tried to lift to the middle, but it was tackled away by Janssen. Carlson.
I don't like to see the players going out in a stretcher, put it that way.
No.
We've seen enough of that.
A few weeks ago, we had no depth. With Gomez right now, you do have depth.
Ruiz sticking a boot in and poking it free. Enrique stripped, and Inter Miami will get a throw in far side.
And people don't realize, or most people do, but you're out without Gregory. You're without Mota.
Right.
You're without Negri. You're without Coco Jean as well. By the way, I don't think I've ever seen a team that has 4 or 5, and you throw in Ian Frey. That's 5 serious knee injuries to potentially 5 starters to this team, and the way they've adjusted.
Ooh, and a hard hit on Busquets.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And, you got to start protecting players now as well, and Messi and
that was
Busquets
out of the big, no.
have taken the brunt of some hard tackles. Messi down for a few minutes. Busquets down right now. And that's where Tata Martino's thinking, you know what?
Well, that was Robin Janssen. We saw him. He was upset earlier. But that challenge was reckless, and VAR will be taking a look. Not so much even for the contact, but just the intent.
Robert Janssen is a hard guy, but not a dirty guy, Phil. There's guys that we all know in this league or outside of this league that we know their reputations, and referees before games, they'll look at tendencies of guys.
Messi giving the dead eye to Felipe Martins as he talks about the way things have turned here. Now Campana coming over as well as they continue to look at Busquets. And by the way, you called it. And I think you weren't the only one. If I remember, Chris Whittingham also, who was in the booth earlier today, Pachuca trailing Houston. So the Liga MX champ, and the reason you were talking about was everyone else has 2 games under their belt. They're coming in cold.
Yep.
Still a lot of time to play there, though.
Pretty good state and so far for the MLS teams. And LAFC leading 2-0 to Phil.
Ball forward for Campana into the area. Looking. Drops it back. A little tuck in by Busquets. Messi and Busquets down the line. Yedlin if he wants. Good hustle to poke it free. Enrique.
That's Gomez. I love Gomez. I'm telling you.
Battleship in the midfield, and he dishes wide for Taylor. Settles with his right, shoots with his left. Campana screaming for the ball as it sails high. And by the way, Houston that victory on penalties over Pachuca, 5-3. So the Liga MX champs are out as Alba tracks this one down.
4
And
MLS teams played today, Phil. All 4 are up and might go through.
And LAFC with a 2-0 lead over Liga MX Juarez.
Yeah.
As they approach the half.
The only one I didn't want to win, it was Dallas.
No, it's good. It's good.
Well, you're in a big picture. You're right. It helps you prepare for Cincinnati.
Absolutely. You want to go on the road.
No, I want to see Miami.
You want to
here.
go.
He just doesn't. Fernando doesn't like Dallas sushi.
No,
that's the thing.
I love to see my team playing here at our fort.
No, but you got to be smart here. There's quite a few players that never traveled in MLS, don't know hotels, food, and stuff like that. Getting one under your belt before you go to Cincinnati in the semifinals.
And Thomas,
absolutely.
It's also a chance to bond. They have nothing else to do but hang out with each other.
Okay, I buy. I go to Dallas then.
And that's a good point, Phil. Away from all family distractions, that's when you, even if it's 2.5 days, you can bond incredibly.
Parece.
So we want to go to Dallas.
You know, that's fine, man. I'm going to Dallas with that familia. What the heck?
Gomez intercepting.
There you go.
Muy bien.
Ball forward for Campana, but Taylor just off the mark. Besides,
And there's good sushi in Dallas.
I was going to say, there's barbecue, and Messi gets to try barbecue.
That's right.
And by the way, Messi has chirped at the Orlando guys the whole night. He knows what a derby is all about. Love it. And chasing right now in the 85th minute.
Back comes Janssen. He was the one that left it in on Busquets. Out to midfield. Krivtsov with a little bump in the back.
Yeah.
The Chicago way.
Quietly, Krivtsov and Kamal Miller. That whole back four, the two holders have done great, Phil. That set piece caught us a little bit, but through the run of play, Drake Callender not having to make a lot of saves.
And you know something? If he's a heron in this team is Busquets. Long legs. He really looked like a heron in pink.
I know.
he could be our mascot.
Ball forward to that front line.
Ooh, Miller. Oh, Miller.
Miller shepherds it across despite being harassed from behind.
He's taking a huge risk there, Phil. You know that, but he does enough to hold them off. He's very strong, still late in his game, and that partnership with Sergi slowly is getting better as well. While we're looking at Beckham and his wife enjoying every minute of this.
Torres, the Uruguayan from Peñarol, might not be big, but he's wily. Good work by Miller. 88th minute. Campana in a duel with Antonio Carlos. The Brazilian wins it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Victor Ulloa comes in just to cool it off and finish this game. Oh, wait a minute.
You're looking at the cards before they're dealt.
No, I was just looking at Ulloa right here next to me, and then I saw him running.
Blocked away. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando. Tata Martino at midfield. Some of these choppy plays frustrating him, but Oscar Pareja sitting away at the back end of the technical area, leaving Josema Basan, his assistant, to scream out instructions. I guess the coaching equivalent of throwing in the towel, Thomas.
Yeah, it's the same for them as it is for players. Sometimes bigger. We know that for coaches. And Oscar, you're right, not a competitor himself.
Throw in far side, shy of the flag, headed clear by Krivtsov. They'll have to step back about 20 yards and try it again. Well, a learning experience for Orlando City and Pareja. This is not the team they pushed around back in May.
No, it certainly isn't, Phil. And again, second best team on the road after Real Salt Lake. Today, clearly outplayed by a better Inter Miami team. They had the moments, Orlando, but over almost 90 minutes, Inter Miami deservedly up 3-1.
89th minute underway. Gomez challenging, tucked inside Martins. Torres keeps it going across. While blasted up and over. The shot from Enrique as he draws some whistles.
In an arc of concentration, every ball is contested with the exception of the goal, obviously. But throughout 90 minutes, it's been an excellent performance. Front to back.
You get Taylor involved again. Messi does his heroics. You end up getting Joseph Martinez on track on his League Cup slide. Okay. You introduce Alba and Gomez, and now Ulloa in. I guess from a South Florida perspective, the Udonis Haslam of Inter Miami. Out comes Taylor. And in comes the holding midfielder as Miami looks to hold on to their 2-goal lead.
What a story about Ulloa. He's here from the very first day. Everybody was talking about him leaving the team, and he always survives. New coaches, new technicians, new tactics, new everything.
And he steps in here to help win the ball back.
Yeah.
Alba to Messi. Campana out wide. Yedlin in a foot race, but the angle held by Janssen and the Swede back.
Poor ball by Campana. He needs to connect there with the wide overlapping Yedlin.
7 minutes at it. That's key, Thomas, because with Messi, with Busquets, there's going to be a lot of openings like that.
Absolutely, Phil.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster for Campana. He was first they started 11, then he went out when Javi Morales came in as an interim coach. Then he went in again. Now he's out again as a substitution. It's a difficult time for the Ecuadorian.
Yep. Although he will stick around. It's because of him that they are ending up bringing in 2 more South American youngsters. Yeah. And Campana has had a few hot streaks in his Inter Miami career.
Yeah, he produces when he comes in, but I'm saying that lately his life is been a roller coaster because he will never know if he's going to be a starter or if he's going to be as a substitution. And it's difficult sometimes for a player to get used to that.
Trying to find an opening. Araujo, who's moved out on that far flank. Throw in Orlando. 7 minutes added. We're just about 1 minute in. Already Dallas victorious. Houston wins on penalties. Antonio Carlos with a sloppy ball. Ulloa with another block. Gomez now to his midfield mate. And LA with a 2-goal first half lead approaching the half against Juarez. John Garber smiling somewhere. Here's Alba trying to peel away and just outraces Ojeda. And spins through the door with Busquets. In for Messi. Just too far, but Messi's move froze Santos. And Yedlin will leave for the Argentine. Messi, left foot. Alba. Oh, that would have been too much of a storyline. But he couldn't quite bring it under control. But he does bring in a reaction from the crowd.
Well, I don't know about Dan Garber, but I have him right next to me on the street, another top executive from MLS, Dan Corimanch, and he's certainly smiling.
Ball down for Messi in the 18. Janssen trying to come away. All the way on this near flank. The Swede to midfield as we have 5 minutes of added time remaining.
Look at Messi chasing a defender at the 90th minute of the game. Amazing.
Orlando deep in the Miami end. Wide for Enrique. Drives to the 18. Back comes Ruiz to defend. They'll retreat. A little bobble as Felipe Martins steps forward. Here's Torres. Wide for Ralston. Blocked by Gomez. High in the air and grabbed like a peach out of the tree by Drake Callender.
Soy del Inter. Es un sentimiento. No puedo parar.
El Presidente is feeling a little sentimental.
Ole, 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 ole. Cada día te quiero más.
Callender with a booming punt. Looking for Campana. Up steps Gomez, but he lost his edge. Ralston turning it back upfield. Long switch to the left flank. Away from Santos, back to keep it alive. Well, if this is a sign of what the knockout stage is going to be like, buckle up. Challenge. Down goes Enrique on the tackle by Yedlin, and now he takes a seat. Back to his feet is Enrique, but Yedlin's still down. No subs left. It's going to be a corner for Orlando, and how big is that third goal now?
Tata Martino might get away with one here. Really surprised that he took out a player that was able to go 90 minutes in Taylor and use his last sub with probably 10 minutes to go in his game because +7 in his extra time and not use this one for an injury, a cramp, which is appearing with Yedlin right now. They're going to play with 10 men, still with 11, but one clearly that's not physical capable of doing a lot of things. First little mistake there of Tata Martino.
Charlotte Cruz Azul still to come. Atlas and the New England Revolution.
This side of the bracket, Phil, this side of the bracket is doable. all the big teams, in particular the Mexican teams, Club America, Tigres Monterrey on the other side.
A New York derby, and then DC against Philadelphia, so some familiar faces. The other bracket, Cincinnati, the MLS powerhouse, has to go up against Nashville, Chicago against Club America, Toluca Sporting KC, the Crew and Minnesota United, and then, as you point out, Monterrey with Portland, Tigres Vancouver, León RSL, and it looks like LAFC is taking care of Juarez tonight.
And look at Pedro Galese. He went all the way to the other side just to throw a tantrum.
Whipped in from the corner, headed up and over.
Yeah, first decent look for Orlando in the 95th minute, Phil. Again, the set pieces have been brilliantly defended by Inter Miami. Aggressive, attacking the ball against St. Louis. A few weeks ago, it was all zonal, and Tata Martino made the adjustments, half zonal and some man-to-man. That's clearly worked in their favor. And if you got Drake Keller not spilling anything, he's so good in holding on to balls, not giving up rebounds. That's a recipe for success.
Rada's header going high, unlike earlier this season. In MLS play, a little push in the back, and it will trickle across near the midfield stripe. Throw in Miami. They're in no rush to take it. 80 seconds left in added time.
Another solid performance by Calendar.
Fernando, Tata still gesturing furiously on the sideline.
Yeah, he's intense from the first minute all the way to the last whistle. I was talking about another solid performance by Calendar. You know, sometimes we forget to talk about, the goalkeepers, but obviously he's been a jewel.
Calendar doing well, doesn't have a clean sheet, but hasn't really been called in. Credit to the defense in front of him. Campana with a little bump. Free kick Orlando as we're in the final minute of added time.
And if I'm correct, Phil Shane, we've scored 9 goals in 3, conceded only 2, and a clean sheet. That's pretty good balance in your plus minus as well.
Again, coming up on the 20th, MLS play resumes against Charlotte. Ball ripped in, and Calendar upended as he slams into Miller.
Yeah.
He comes down with the ball, and Miller actually looks like he gets the worst of it.
Yeah, shows you the commitment of all players involved. And then that's one of the things when I played with Jan van Beveren, one of the great Dutch goalkeepers. I said, when I come, I will take out anything in my way, including my own defenders. And that's what Drake Calendar is doing. Brave right now. And Kamal Miller takes the brunt of it, who's also totally committed to win the ball that's served by Orlando inside the 18-yard box. Just a total different mentality in this team in the last few weeks. For the better, obviously. Focused, hard, and a mindset we're not going to lose.
David Beckham looking on. By the way, Kei Utsumi might be getting the most workout here in the second half for Inter Miami. The Herons trainer sprinting all the way to the goal line to take a look at the Canadian international.
Yeah,
and Calendar did nothing wrong. Miller did nothing wrong. It's just part of the game.
Absolutely. 2 players on the same team, totally committed to prevent a goal and sacrificing their bodies in the process, Phil. Yeah, that's great to see.
Well, extra time added as we're almost into the 99th minute. Calendar waiting till his teammates get a little further, drives it across midfield. Ivan Cisneros not checking his watch yet. Antonio Carlos, a mistouch. Campana trying to run around, but good work by the Brazilian to turn it.
Yep.
I have another prediction.
Go for it.
All the security cars are ready to sprint to be playing American Gladiator. And don't let anybody get into the pitch at the end of the game.
That might have been the biggest investment by Inter Miami.
I'm telling you, man. They're right next to me right here, and they're ready to sprint into the field.
Ball long, Carlson into the middle. Miller well enough, and along with Ulloa, who lifts it high in the air and then gets taken down by Ramiro Enrique. Play continues for Orlando. Looking to cut into the lead. Across the middle, back post. And it's slammed home by Cesar Araujo in the 99th minute of a 97-minute game.
And that's where, as I said again, Tata Martino should have been a little bit more conservative. Yetland can't get to that ball to prevent it because he's not completely healthy anymore. And on the other side, Kamal Miller also struggling a little bit as well.
And Ulloa has an argument that he was fouled, but Cisneros letting him play, Fernando.
Let's finish this thing, man. Ulloa was on the ground. I knew it. He's gonna trying to get the attention of the referee. The referee didn't stop the match. Let's finish this thing. Come on.
Messi with a few more words for the Salvadoran. It will not be enough for Orlando, but it is a blemish. And for Tata Martino, you know what? Gives him something else to work on.
And also, Phil, if this stays 3-1, everybody goes in a very comfortable mood. Now, as a coach, you always look to criticize something. And this is great. Hey, guys, this late, we dropped our mentality and our concentration a little bit. Not good enough. And the players will acknowledge it as well. As much as they talk to the referee now, go to VAR.
And by the way, it is not on the contact with Ulloa, but an apparent offside. And
there
VAR
you go.
says...
VAR?
Well, no, VAR says, come and take a look at this. And Ivan Cisneros heading over to the far flank to look at the monitor.
It's the ball into the final pass that happens right now.
And it does appear to be an offside.
Yeah, but does the player
Canada has to pay
interfere?
attention to
I agree with you. To me, that's active offsides.
And here's the signal from Cisneros. Offside. Take the goal off the board. So for Tata Martino, still something to complain about, but it doesn't look bad on the stat sheet. And the offside against the big Austrian.
I'll tell you, the security guards go in thinking it's the end of the game. Guys, come back. It's not the end yet. Come back. Yeah, you too. Red card for you. Red card. Yellow card for you. Come back.
And Galese again sprinting across midfield.
It's not over yet.
And both benches, in particular the assistant coaches right now, really going at each other verbally.
Cesar Baena, the Venezuelan goalkeeper, former national teamer, barking at Inter Miami as the final whistle blows. Inter Miami advances in the League's Cup with a 3-1 win over their Florida rivals, Orlando.
That was a very funny situation, guys. All the security guards went into the field thinking that the game was over. That's the new era.
Fireworks driving into the night over Drive Pink Stadium. Some thoughts before we head to the post game, Thomas. This was a game in which Miami was tested, was pushed, but was resilient and ended up doing the pushing themselves in the second half.
Brilliant. You know, again, the storybook, fascinating. Messi continues with another brace, but there were other heroes, as you said, Joseph Martinez. We bent a little bit, 3-2, but those are all learning experiences, and those learning experiences are always positive if you win, Phil Shane. So something for Tata Martino, obviously. Noah Allen, Gramansky, again, very good. Alba Gomez making their debuts as well. Only positives across the line, and we advance to the round of 60. Phil Shane, which looks right now is going to be away at Dallas.
August 6th, 7th, or 8th, we'll wait to find out. And then following that, Pachuca. The Tuzos are gone as Houston knocks them out on penalties tomorrow. Charlotte and Cruz Azul, who Miami have already beaten. The conversation continuing, but the two warriors shaking hands as Mauricio Pereira and Lionel Messi bury the hatchet. 3-1 Inter Miami. We'll be back to highlight and wrap things up on the postgame show on Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
Listening to MLS action with Inter Miami CF, presented by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Listen to Inter Miami CF here, AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Brought to you by Celsius, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF. Pass to Celsius. Celsius. Still Celsius. Goal! Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split-folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? Click now and find summer happiness in a new Chevy. See your South Florida Chevy dealer. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier, and High Country seat 7.
Hey, Rob Bradford here. I have set out on a mission with my good friends at FanDuel to prove what I have known for some time. Baseball isn't boring. Now I have a daily podcast to prove it with some of the most notable people in the baseball world, screaming baseball isn't boring from the mountaintops, or at least agreeing to come on our show. Players, managers, GMs, and yes, even the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. It has been a constant wave of baseball's most powerful voices. So join the revolution. Subscribe and soak in Baseball Isn't Boring. Listen on your Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. You'll be glad you did.
This is Sean Dunn.
And Anne-Marie from J.R. Dunn Jewelers. Do you have jewelry that needs a little TLC? We all do.
Fine jewelry repair, custom design, Swiss watch repair, appraisals, you name it, we do it. Right here in Lighthouse Point.
Letting people know that their prized possessions are fully insured and in very capable hands is invaluable.
Where else can you see 6 master jewelers working under one roof? When you bring us your jewelry for repairs, it stays right here, so we know we get the job done right.
And when they see the finished product, you get tears, you get joy, you get hugs and kisses.
So whether you need a Swiss watch repair or want a custom one-of-a-kind engagement ring, there's no other team of master jewelers and watchmakers like ours.
We invite you to stop by and let us be your jeweler. From a sketch to reality, you'll be glad you did.
J.R. Dunn Jewelers, 4210 North Federal Highway in Lighthouse Point. Taking care of your jewelry and Swiss watch servicing needs for over 50 years.
Time to recap this Inter Miami CF match. It's the Celsius Essential Energy Drinks postgame show where Inter Miami plays. AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Brought to you by Celsius, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF. Past to Celsius, Celsius, still Celsius. Goal! Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF.
Welcome to the Celsius postgame show. Inter Miami victorious over Orlando City 3-1, and setting up a showdown that appears to be set for Sunday the 6th. And you know what? It is a Sunday showstopper against FC Dallas on the road. Phil Shane, Thomas Rong, and Fernando Fiore here at Drive Pink Stadium. Thomas, this was almost a perfect match for Tata Martino. Challenged, he saw what his team could do. It was not easy, and now they move on to the round of 16.
A perfect ending again, which we see now in 3 straight goals with a red-hot Leo Messi, obviously. It's a derby in a knockout phase, which you don't see very often. You beat your rival, your bitter rival that you don't like. And that game pretty much showed that. Yellow cards, aggression, benches flaring a little bit. But at the end of the day, hey, they're in the round of 16. And yes, they can go back to the drawing board and say, hey, in these areas, in particular the first goal on a set piece, we can prevent this. But this will be fun. This ride has been fun. And now the Messi show will go on the road, Phil Shane, on Sunday.
Fernando Fiore down on the field, and I don't know if Thomas was talking about this during the break. I don't know if we've seen this in the history of Lionel Messi, but surrounded by about 40 guards who are keeping an eye on the fans are the Messi kids and friends running around in the Inter Miami area. It's wonderful, isn't it?
It's something that has been a tradition so far since Messi started to play with our beloved team. Messi, the big Messi, is taking a shower right now. Probably the little Messi, the 3 of them, 3 sons, are playing in the north goal, and they are scoring a lot of goals right there. And not only that, but they throw a little lion toy, and they were kicking the lion toy. And in the serious note, I want to say that what a difference made for Joseph Martinez the first 45 minutes, who he pretty much didn't touch the ball at all. And the second 45 minutes when he was instrumental because he provoked the penalty, very light penalty in my opinion, but penalty nevertheless. Then he scored on the penalty thanks to Messi that he was very nice to let him go and kick the penalty. And then he make a perfect assistant to Messi himself to make it, out of reach for Orlando. So it's a wonderful feeling. Another victory, 3 in a row. Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba with his first minutes. Gomez also with his first minutes. Hey, the future looks really, really brilliant.
By the way, that roar you heard from La Familia was Matteo Messi. scoring in the net to our left. Fernando, let's get serious. You talked about them kicking the Lion. Well, the Lions were kicking Inter Miami. Credit to Oscar Pereira and Orlando City. They did not make it easy. They just were not up to the challenge tonight, which is a warning sign for everyone else in MLS.
Yeah, definitely. When we're talking about the first half and the possession, that Inter Miami was clearly the one who dominated the whole 45 minutes. But then you see a goal given away in such a way that it was really, catastrophic in my point of view. Because when you have 5 or 6 defenders and then you have an open man from Orlando to score that goal and get in a tie, and you say, why, man? Why you can't get the second play and get a little more organized? But then again, it was a one big mistake in 45 minutes. Then, Inter Miami showed what it's made of. It's a completely different team. All the additions are absolutely fantastic. And there are more guys coming. Like I mentioned before, we have Toto Avilés from Racing Club being a great center back that will probably help us a lot in cases that Christoph or Miller or McVie cannot play.